Good Monday morning. If you're tuning in all day this week, every Monday through Friday right now, just this week, I'm going live at 10 a.m. Central right here and also on my YouTube channel, just helping us reset. It's already almost the end of January. Can you believe it? I cannot. It just seems like this month has flown by in a year that just hasn't flown by, right? But what I am seeing pop up internally, and maybe for myself, maybe for you, are some things that are just still trying to block me from living into my greatness. And so I'm going to tackle some of those all week long. And today we're going to jump right in with obstacles, right? They all pop up for everybody. There are so many moving parts to life. It's easy for life to get out of control. And I think sometimes the imbalance of life is caused by putting undue focus on certain priorities to an extent that pushes out the other priorities that you're trying to set. So re-anchor yourself in this moment to maybe how you started the year, what your word was, right? For me, my word was simplify, right? I want to simplify my life and my systems and how I'm showing up in the world. What is your word? Or maybe you had 2 or 3 goals that you're trying to do each quarter or for the year, or maybe it was about internal health or mental well-being. Whatever it was, anchor back to that for just a moment. Because a life that's under control is also a life that's well balanced. And in a year that chaos seems to reign and continue, I think it is really important that we think about getting life under control in the best way that we possibly can. So drop a comment if you're here either live, live, replay, and let me know that you're here and tuning in. So what I thought I'd do is I'd talk about 6 obstacles to regaining our balance so that we don't walk into February still kind of unsettled in this space. So I think what these are really tips and tricks, little hacks to get life back at the helm of a life that you desire. So these are really just 6 hot, quick strategies that you can try on, that you can implement quickly, and really do some deep internal work so that you can regain that sense of self that maybe you've been looking for either internally, in life, or in your business. So the first one definitely is in the realm of possessions. So here's the way this works. I mean, it's easy to get your life out of balance if you're overly focused on possessions, right? You're more likely to incur debt. You have empty feelings inside sometimes. The rush of owning a Ferrari, it's going to eventually wear off and you're going to want something else, right? So part of our imbalance comes when we are chasing possessions as a source of happiness. I'm right in the middle of doing 6 weeks with 2 different groups where we're talking about this and the power that possessions have over us. But I will say by the same token, if you don't have the possessions you require, life is also imbalanced. So it is that delicate dance that we do. So things like reliable transportation, right? Suitable clothing, a phone, those might be possessions that are worth having in your realm and in your world. But at the end of the day, it's important to not let possessions control your life, but to ensure what you need. So maybe as you look back to the way that you wanted to start the year, then maybe you need to see how do possessions play into that or not play into that. Hi, Lori. Happy Monday to you too. I'm glad to see you here. Okay, so in thinking about that, then maybe start off, are there possessions that are taking control that maybe you wish weren't taking control? And maybe start a list and getting some balance back there. What is the second thing? Well, the second thing would be health and appearance. Now, I'm saying this with a grain of salt, so just hear me when I say this. Focusing on your health, I believe, is worthwhile use of your attention no matter what phase of life you're in. However, too many people are overly concerned with their appearance. Right. So everyone that lives long enough will eventually look old. And the media is saturated with images of people that get Botox or get this or get that, or, figure out the youth hormone and take this supplement over here. But everyone eventually ages. And I think we have done a disservice to ourselves by not honoring wisdom. Right. And looking back to maybe some other kinds of people groups throughout history that really honored when someone had wrinkles and age, what that meant was they had lived a long life. Right. Like I say, I love my laugh lines right here because they show I lived a more happy life than the frown lines I might have. Right. So you still have the option of feeling good about yourself, even if you feel like you're not showing up as your most attractive self, okay? But don't get caught up in those stereotypical standards that some magazine cover says that you must do. Those are not attainable. They're airbrushed, right? Everyone has their unique beauty, and it starts here. It starts inside your soul and what you're putting out in the world. So paying attention to your health and accepting your appearance will put this aspect of your life back into balance. All right, what's the third thing? Definitely finance. This is something that is absolutely crucial. Many people tie their self-image to their income. It's not healthy. It's not a well-balanced approach. So don't let it be an obstacle for you. Money and happiness also don't correlate above an income of $75,000. That's what all the science experts say, that people that make $75,000, a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, are the happiest people. So avoid basing your self-esteem on how much money you make. So having too little money, it will also throw your life out of balance. I recognize that. I have been in that space before where I didn't know how I was going to buy groceries. But if you don't have enough money to reliably pay your bills, right, feed your family, there is going to be undue stress on you. So instead, re-anchor yourself, focus on generating the income you need, but avoid giving money more attention than it deserves. Quickly figure out some financial strategies that will get your life back in control. Be ruthless about, do you need the latest and greatest iPhone? And do you need subscriptions to all of the things? I don't know. Only you know that, but there are some ways to kind of get control there. And I encourage you to spend some time there if that's an obstacle that you're finding that you're living in. Okay. The fourth one of the 6 is in the area of relationships. Relationships are important, but they're not the only thing in life. A lot of my work is about relationships and how we're showing up in boundary work. But putting all your emphasis on one relationship will definitely limit other aspects of your life. Now, relationships, they are a significant source of pleasure, right? But they are also a significant source of stress. So if your life is feeling out of control, start by examining your relationships. Determine if changes are warranted. Are you hanging out with people that pour into you, that make you feel alive? Or are you always feeling guilty? Does someone make you feel guilty? Do you have friends that don't reach out to you? You're always the one connecting to them. That might be a sign that there's some imbalance going on, and it might be time to turn attention to that and feel inside. Again, remember, the health starts from here, inside out, and figure out what you need in this time in your life. And then for a lot of people, they find obstacles in their career, right? This tends to, I think, affect men more than women, but we're seeing the pendulum shift there as well. A lot of people will say that the men folk seem to define themselves by careers and the women folk by relationships. I'm not sure that that's always true anymore. Okay, I am definitely a goal-getter. I define myself by my work. It is an important part of who I am in the world. I like to work. I like to be busy. But how many times have you been asked, what do you do? Hey, what do you do? And if you are helping kids get schooled at home, that is still what you're doing. I am pouring into young minds with education right now. If you are a retired person, you might literally be serving your community in XYZ ways. That is what you do. So many people, so many people put stock into the fact that they want to be able to say, I'm a cardiothoracic surgeon rather than a plumber. But what does that matter? What matters is the priority you're giving and how you're loving, serving, and showing up in the world. So give your work enough priority that you're able to be successful in your chosen field, but always aligning back to your heart and a service model. And remember that you're more than your job title. So job titles are temporary. So the last thing that I want to talk about is reputation as an obstacle. So once we start school, what happens? Well, we become obsessed by the opinions of others. It just happens that way. And the problem that I think I see over and over is that we carry that attitude into adulthood. And that begins to create some challenges for us. So let go. If there was one tip I think you should take over all of these obstacles, is let go of needing to be admired by everyone. Yesterday I was noting that it is rare that people unsubscribe from my email list, which is great. That's a great sign. That means I guess I'm giving value. People like what I put out. I'm not saturating people too. That's another good thing. But when they do, it used to just really wreck me. Because I'm like, wow, am I not enough? Am I not giving them what they need? What didn't they like, et cetera? But now if people are unsubscribing from me, I'm okay. I'm like, well, maybe they're taking control of their email. Maybe they're following someone else. Maybe they need something different right now. That's not always about me. I'm letting go of needing to be admired by everyone. Instead, anchoring back to here and showing up as my truest self. If your friends and your family admire you, you're doing better than most of the people on the planet. So let that sink into your soul somewhere. In this week, it's all about balance. I want you to try to find the middle path, okay? Not the unreasonable pursuit of one thing over the other, but balance in your work and your relationships and how you're showing up. And it is easy to get your life back under control by seeking balance in some tidbit little ways. I'm glad you joined me. Again, Every day this week at 10 a.m., it'll be like this, 9 minutes, 10 minutes or less, just some hot tips to get you re-anchored as we march into February with great love and service. All right, have a wonderful Monday. Check you later. Bye.